1. All right, we are here with Jim and with He-Bear, who are about to start their game. Hello to both of you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. And I'm also here with Gigasaurus, who is going to co-host with me. How you doing tonight, Giga?
Very good, thank you.
Excellent.
I haven't had dinner yet.
Well, you might not have dinner for a couple hours, or maybe less, depending how this game goes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Is it going to be like my last game, where it took like 8 moves?
Yeah, your last game ended in round 2, I believe, correct?
Yeah, it was round 2.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It was like the middle of round 2. We both had the same idea, which is you just attack the leader, because when the opponent's leader's health reaches 0, they can't play the game anymore. So he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna rush him down," and so he just brought his leader over to me and was just conveniently standing right next to my archer while attacking me. I was like, "Okay, I think I can do that a little bit faster," and that's how the game ended.
Yes.
So-
We were. I remember watching and wondering why he wasn't moving his leader out of the range of the archer.
My last game, it's a shame this wasn't streamed. I had like 1 HP left on my leader, and who I was playing with, they had 5 on theirs, but I had the life leech, and I was able to get I forget what the move is where you like teleport next to enemies. So
Burst.
I got burst. I got all my life leech tokens, and then I used the other one where you teleport you in direction and then attack for how many
Burrow.
life leech tokens. Burrow. I used burrow, and I used, and then I got the win. And did exactly 5 damage.
I would be very salty if that happened to me. Not gonna lie.
Well, I haven't won. That was my only ever win of this game period. So
Yeah, I had my last tournament game this week, which is actually on Sunday. I played Coil, Parasite, and Burrow, I think, all in the same turn, and there was an empowered attack, and then I burst the next round.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, I do think the life leech is very effective, but it's you gotta recognize it as a threat early on and deal with it.
The funny thing is, I still don't like it.
Yeah. So
I had a really rough. Sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead. What were we gonna say?
I was just gonna say I had a really rough first turn because all the moves I could take, I could only move diagonal for all the cards I got my first round.
That really is rough. Okay.
What was your leader?
I was using the general. I think.
Yeah, I think what I would do there is try to set up some more advantageous moves by moving the general and then moving like 1 space over so that your other diagonals.
Yeah,
are better.
I only had like so many. I mean, yeah, I could have done that.
Yeah, it's a little tricky sometimes though. But.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember what the exact circumstances though were.
Okay, so Giga and I are going to hop over to the broadcasting channel, so no one will be able to hear you. And good luck with the game.
Okay.
All right.
See you later.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck and have fun.
All right, Giga, they are rolling off.
I'm back.
Okay.
Cool.
So it looks like He-Bear is going to get first choice of leader.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I'm curious to see where this goes because, everyone was thinking Jim was entering this tournament as the favorite, and seems like that may not be how things are working out these days.
Is he 0-3 or is he 1-2?
He is 1-2 with Thera so far undefeated,
right.
And then you are right behind him.
Right, yep. 3-1.
Yeah.
We lost Thera.
Yeah. And Thera is actually undefeated in tournament and non-tournament play. He is actually now in all of his games 8-0.
We'll get him next time.
Yeah, he's definitely the target.
Well, to be fair, I was also not using an amazing team that time.
So I thought Oh, okay. So Thera has chosen the High Priest. I mean, not Thera. Heber has chosen the High Priest. Jim
I
has.
do like the High Priest better than the Spy Master personally. The Spy Master definitely has. It's good at some things, but I just feel that the High Priest is more going for it most of the time.
Yeah, the High Priest definitely has, if everything goes well, the High Priest, I think, has, well, not I think, definitely has the most activations. Every one of its actions can activate 2 troops. It's just a little bit more fragile because if a troop dies with a token on it, a blessing on it, it doesn't get to activate it. So
So there's that. But there's also the fact that Spy Master's Stolen Plans is an incredibly good card, but I hate drawing it round 1.
oh, it's a terrible round 1.
And I don't know if you noticed this. That my tournament match on Sunday, I drew both of my Stolen Plans round 1.
Oof, that is rough.
And just like that, it's so inconsistent in that way that it's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it is definitely swingier. It's probably the most swingy of the leaders. When things are going well, it's amazing, but it's definitely a little bit hard. Oh, we got an Uzi Goops out there
With High Priest.
With the High Priest.
I tried something like that. Maybe he'll make more use of it than I did.
I think it's a pretty decent combination. Again, Uzi Goops is still a bit of a question mark. He hasn't seen a lot of action, so I'm pretty glad to see him in the game today.
Yep.
Jim has, unsurprisingly, chosen the Zealot.
Indeed.
He does go by Zealot Master on the Discord. Okay, Zealot Archer on Jim's side. Pretty solid combination.
So he's not putting them in. Oh, okay, he did. I was going to say he's not putting them in. He's not putting them in adjacent, which I was going to say was interesting, but he did. Yeah. He did change his mind. It looks like maybe his original thinking was something to deal with counter wizard. Maybe. Speaking of countering wizard, that is not how you counter wizard.
The ranger is a rough one to counter the wizard with because of just the wizard's extra range, unless you can get something intervening. Again, unsurprising soldier.
Let's see. So he hasn't taken standard bearer, and even if he did take standard bearer, it would be pretty far from the ranger.
Yeah. Again, I mean, it depends. You move the standard bearer. If you put standard bearer would have to start in G2, move it up to F3, and then the standard would carry all the way over to the C file. So
not only if he doesn't have the card, it places adjacent, doesn't it?
Right, but if he puts
the range on it.
Yes, the range.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Got it. That's what you meant. And actually, as I was saying that, the caveat to what I said is if he got lucky and drew the standard bearers, what in the world?
Oh, they rewinded something. Something must have happened.
I guess. Played something by accident, maybe?
I guess. Oh, whoa! Tabletop Simulator's rewind function is definitely not its strong suit.
No. I feel like it would be easier if they had a rewind function that was separate from just an undo.
Yeah, that would be better.
Maybe the undo can't undo moving something, but it could at least undo spawning or deletion.
Yeah.
Of course, what do I know? It's not like I can write a physics simulator. I just use them. What was I saying? Oh, standard bearer. If you got lucky and drew the standard bearer's order turn 1,
right?
That would be another way to fix the problem. The quote unquote problem, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that would definitely do it. But again, that
Mm-hmm.
is a 1 in 3 chance in the first draw. So
Yeah. Especially because it doesn't look like Jim's going to have any card draw going for him, unless he gets on the card draw tile. No, because he's not Spy Master, he's not Wizard's Astral Gate.
the only one left with this Assassin has card draw.
Okay.
Trying to think who else. Let me take a swing at the. No.
Necromancer. Doesn't Necromancer?
Yes, Necromancer has card draw. Yes.
I remember arguing about Necromancer and card draw.
Yes. It does have card draw.
A couple weeks ago. Right, so that would be another option if you really wanted it. I don't know that it's that important, but it would be a thing that he could do if he so desired.
Yeah, I mean, card draw is never bad. As as I was Rat and I were discussing, card draw in this game is not just options; it's actions. So it's pretty powerful. But we've seen plenty of games where it doesn't, where the person with better card draw doesn't win. There is the Shadow
on a Zealot team. Huh.
See, what surprised me was having actually done the Shadow on my designer diary recently. I was kind of hoping people would understand that the Shadow is a pretty good counter to the Soldier.
Because it deals unpreventable damage a couple
and
of
because
ways.
it can actually relocate the Soldier with its attack, moving it away from whatever it's protecting.
Right. Yep. True.
Um,
And in point of fact, farther than say the Force Mage could. Because the Force Mage, at best, the Soldier can probably just move back. You can move back off of the leader activation.
Yep. And the text on the Shadow has been updated slightly. That is now a placement effect. Oh, I didn't update it on here. Dang.
What did I say before? I thought I said place. Oh, move. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Move in the sense of
moving.
Someone could try to argue, hey, that triggers my minute movement ability, and I get to attack in direction of movement because I'm a knight, or something weird like that. Is that what your concern was?
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Don't let me just send them a message right now.
I don't see any on. Oh, Druid. Okay, Druid has unempowered ability, but they might also just not notice it. And also, if they try to do something, you could just tell them in the chat, errata. That's not.
I'm actually telling them right now.
Okay. So that's an interesting team comp.
Yeah, it is. I'm a little bit uncertain what his thinking is.
I think Heber at least just going general aggro. Wizard life leech. Druid has some boosted attacks sometimes. Uzi Goops has his Goop Lash, and it's
Heber's comp. I understand. Jim's is a little bit confusing to me. It's really the Shadow that's confusing me in there, to be honest. And on the one always saying the Shadow is undervalued.
I sort of wonder if the goal of the Shadow was just deal with the Druid.
Oh, that could be.
Because the Druid can prevent damage. Because I thought he showed Shadow after Heber took Druid. So it could just be that. And again, it could also be something like Life Leech, get away from me.
Right.
Or move Uzi Goops outside of Goop Lash range or something.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's actually a pretty good counter to Goopy because the Gooplash is a pretty strong attack. It's a charge that can do 2 damage in most of the cases.
I was noticing that when I drew it the last time. It is kind of hard to set it up because it only has 1 movement on its charge.
Yes.
But if you're able to back them into a corner somehow, which makes me wonder if outside tournament play could be an interesting match for Engineer.
Yeah, I could see that.
And actually, as I say that, maybe Druid might be doing that same sort of task here. I don't know if that was an intentional decision, but I'm wondering if it'll have that effect.
It might.
Intentionally or unintentionally.
Okay, pretty standard Pyre. My favorite.
The heart is interesting.
Yeah, my favorite effect. The Pyre is going to land on the heart.
Technically, the Pyre moves, and then you review. You
do all the effects first, and then you move the Pyre.
Well, I was going to say, and then you reveal the card. It's like move Pyre, resolve Pyre's movement, and then reveal card, or does card reveal simultaneously with movement?
You move the Pyre, then you reveal the card.
Okay. Because I was kind of like, because the other way around, it could be something like, I'm sitting on the Pyre, so when the Pyre lands on me, I instantly teleport to an adjacent control token because I'm being forced to remove myself.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
Which is good. That would just be silly.
Yeah, and we don't want to. We don't want having someone have the Pyre land on them be an advantage to them, so they have to guess blindly.
Yeah.
All right, so He-Bear is going to be going first. They've both bought their first tactic. Pardon me, audience, while I just try and find a good angle.
Mm-hmm. I kind of just like the default angle in this angle, personally.
I like having a little bit of a drama to the.
Let's see.
Well, He-Bear is definitely thinking deeply about this.
Maybe he drew a hand he didn't like. Maybe he drew an amazing hand he's trying to find the right way to go about things.
Maybe. I mean, things that would appeal to me would be getting the wizard onto the health space, get it up to 4 health. I mean, sure, it'll take a damage, but long term, it will work it to its advantage if it dies, because it comes back with the 4 health.
It also puts in range of attacking the soldier.
Yes, the 3 range attack from the wizard is pretty sweet.
And now,
and decent splash too.
As I was going to say.
Yeah, it would hit 3 other units,
including the shadow, which is otherwise hard to hurt pretty often.
Yeah.
I wonder if that might have been a part of the calculation for why he took shadow as well. Just that's a fairly aggro team, so maybe he's trying to reduce how much damage they can do to it.
Could be. Oh, Jim is asking me a really good question in the Discord chat. If the soldier is adjacent to the shadow, and the shadow gets attacked for 2 damage, can the soldier tank it for 1? Meaning, does the shadow's reduction happen first, or does... I'm going to say no, because the shadow only reduces it if it would take damage. If the soldier's tanking it, the shadow would not be taking damage.
So, counter argument. Both of the timings are when a unit would be damaged.
Right.
And I think you've said in the past that if there are multiple things that can be triggered, you can choose a timing.
Except the shadow really it wouldn't be damaged. It just wouldn't.
But the timing would be identical.
Yes.
So So I guess the question then would be: when you fire off a timing, do you immediately recheck conditions, or do
Right.
you queue everything up?
I would say thematically, the soldier's jumping in front of the shadow, basically, so the shadow's reduction wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I may have to change the soldiers to when a friendly unit would be targeted with an attack.
Let's see, what would that mean? So that would counter wizard, but wizard already counters it anyway. That would absorb the shadow's attack and move the soldier.
Yeah, so I've just done a on-the-fly ruling that no, the soldier has to take the 2 damage. That may change, but it's a really good question that no one's ever asked before.
I feel like I might have thought about it maybe, but like I also didn't care at the time. I can't remember. And I frankly am not sure.
So I'm going to say the timing is going to work out that when a unit's attacked, you have to decide right then and there who's taking the damage, the soldier or the shadow. If the soldier's taking the shadow, then the shadow's would-be damage never triggers.
So that would be effectively force the soldier's ability to fire first.
Yes. The soldier's ability can't fire second because it just doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make thematic sense. I'm still trying to figure out how you would specify that in the rules.
I know. I don't know how I'm going to explain it. I mean, I could say the soldier becomes the target of that damage instead. But that eliminates the whole prevent thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nope. Rule breaking.
That doesn't look right. On multiple levels, actually. First of all, you can't put it on control. Secondly, Druid places adjacent, doesn't it?
I believe it's in its. Is it adjacent?
Oh, it is zone. It is zone. I was thinking of the card. My mistake. It is within zone.
Yeah. So the rule is you can't place it on a control point, but if a control point subsequently moves onto it with a new Pyre card, then so be it.
Yep.
Yeah, the placement of the nature tokens is always pretty crucial to playing the druid effectively.
Dropping from the ranger is what I would do here.
I would agree with that, to keep the ranger from advancing 1 space and targeting the druid. You know, an evasive shot here could be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to move up, ping it for 1, be stealthed, create a challenge for the druid. Oh, Jim had no hesitation on that.
That does it too. That would do it too.
Well,
I'm
no.
just confirming that. Yeah,
He'll
that's
move
what
it,
I'm talking
right?
about.
He's not going to be able to attack, but he's done. Yep. I think you're right that the A3 would have been where the ranger is now would have been a much better placement for the nature token.
Mm-hmm. I'm contemplating what the reasoning with that positioning was. It could be that his goal was to be able to use it against either zealot or ranger, or defensively on either space.
Yeah, he may have Nature's Wrath in hand, which would then do 2 damage to each of those units that's next to it. That's certainly a possibility.
He did not play it, however, and this probably would have been the best time to do it.
That would have been the time to do it, yeah.
So,
especially with the soldier not near him to tank anything.
Right.
So I think you're right. He probably didn't have it. Okay, Okay, he's putting a movement blessing on the druid, who will now get a chance to move.
That doesn't look legal.
No, it's adjacent. He cannot do that.
Well, that wasn't even in zone. That
Yeah.
wasn't even in zone. Never mind adjacent. So, never mind the fact that again. No, yeah. I mean, also that's just not even in the zone. So
This makes me. What's he doing? Why does he move the nature token?
because
Because right, he moved the druid. He moved the druid with
Right.
it, right? Yes.
Yep.
So then I'm guessing he's going to drop the movement onto Oozy Goops, who will then be able to move and subsequently inspire the druid.
That could work. Yeah.
And getting Oozy Goops forward is not a bad thing because it is not the fastest unit on the board with its order.
No, it really is not.
Wizard, really? Okay. You know what? Not bad, actually.
The splash is still not. The splash is still pretty good too.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
Although the druid's about to.
And honestly,
shot here.
The temporary health buff for the wizard is not a bad thing either. It's almost tempting to leave the move token on there. Oh, we've got a lead.
That's a dead druid. That's a dead druid, I'm pretty sure. I was just about to say a lead just kills druid right here.
Yep. And powered attack followed by a regular attack.
Yep.
Just emphasizing again that A3 would have been a much better placement for the nature token.
Mm-hmm. And the nature token disappears now too.
Yep.
Assuming he's double tapping, which I assume he is. Because I don't know that.
I can't imagine why he wouldn't. I mean, the druid is a big threat.
Yeah, there it goes. Yep. And they need to remove the nature token. We'll see if they remember.
I'm sure if he doesn't, Jim will remind him.
That's assuming that Jim remember notices. Well, what we could do is we could wait for both of them to take a turn. If they haven't mentioned it, we could.
Yep.
If they haven't noticed, we could mention it at that point.
There we go. Jim's pointing it out.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Here goes Goop. That Gooplash. That's a sad Gooplash.
Oh,
never. That okay. I take it back. I hadn't noticed that.
Okay, there we go. It's an effective Gooplash, and it puts the Goop token onto the general. You know?
Which, with Life Leech and Wizard available to him, that's not bad.
Yeah. And the Goop sticks around even if Oozy Goops dies.
Mm-hmm. And
It's a very effective Gooplash.
yeah, it is. I don't think it was worth. It essentially required the sacrifice of the druid, so I don't think it was quite worth.
Oh
that.
No! It was not a reasonable trade. But again, it didn't need to be a trade had he placed that nature token better. I don't think the two moves are connected.
That's fair. Well, the connection would be the general might have gone somewhere else that couldn't be gooplashed if druid couldn't be killed.
I think that was just more of an attack of opportunity for He-Bear.
Sure, I'll give you that. Yeah, Jim taking initiative. I like that.
Oof. And he's got his soldier right next to the wizard, which is going to be a problem.
Oh, and he's got card draw.
Yeah. Oh, he has card draw too with the leader. Initiative and card draw. That's brutal.
He's losing right now. He's losing the Pyre. I wouldn't be surprised to see him lose it overall. But
yeah, if he manages to pull the Pyre away from He-Bear, he's entering round 2 into a really strong position.
And it is possible. He's got 2 cards left in hand. If they're both sideways movement, drop Zealot into one, or range around to the other.
Yeah. Or if he has the lead card.
And now it's even easier because he just moved the wizard off of the heart.
Wow. I do not know what He-Bear is thinking here. Unless he has some...
Oh, teleport.
I was just going to say, if he has Astral Gate, then it might make sense.
Yeah.
Swap Oozy Goops with the leader.
Teleport. Was he...
What's he got?
What did he even do with the attack?
To me, place a friendly unit Oof.
We should ask what got attacked from.
God.
What did he attack with teleport?
What's that?
What did he attack with teleport?
You can attack with teleport.
Right, what did he attack?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I.
Right?
Oh, did he play teleport?
That was the wizard's movement.
Oh, because the teleport can also be a move, and the teleport and then a move.
But he didn't move.
Well,
So I assumed he was attacking.
Now he's dead.
Yeah. I
mean, he didn't break a rule. He just, if he chose not to take advantage of it, then I'm not going to correct strategy errors. I'm just going to correct rule errors.
Yeah, so
It's a brutal first round. Jim's going to win Pyre too.
Cheryl didn't get attacked. Ranger didn't get attacked.
Maybe not.
Taken one, but I think that was from To Me. So I don't know what that was, but whatever.
Well, he did To Me empowered attack from the Ranger boosted by the Zealot.
Which is where the Zealot's damage came from. Which I still don't know where the Wizard's damage came from.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because the Wizard would have had 4 health with the token.
Did that change anything?
That would have.
Should the Wizard have survived then?
I don't know, but at this point in time, I don't want to retcon that far back.
Yeah, sure. But I'm wondering if the Wizard should have survived then, because To Me was that only 3 damage from the To Me then?
Let me see. To Me. So he did a star attack.
With the Ranger.
With 2, boosted by the Zealot for 3. I think it was only a 3 damage attack. We'll have to follow up with them afterwards.
Yeah. Especially because, so here's the thing with that teleport. He wouldn't get split. What he could have done is he could have targeted the general, made it an empowered action.
Right, because the boosted.
Well,
he was adjacent to the general, though, right?
But it's still an empowered action, and in doing so, he triggers the movement blessing. So something can move if he wanted to.
Oh, true. He wouldn't get the splash, but he'd get the movement since it was empowered. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that was just... ouch.
Especially if he didn't fire off the teleport's attack, which I'm still confused about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he has enough energy that he can bring both of his units back and buy a card. So...
Sure.
That's a bit helpful. Still got the goop token on the leader.
He didn't use a tactic in the previous round.
Right. So rough first round, but he's not out of the game. But with Jim getting the card draw, the Pyre, and the initiative, it is definitely not a great position to be in.
Especially because that means Jim has effective 2-card advantage right now, with initiative.
Jim only bought 1 tactic. He had enough for a second.
Maybe he didn't like them. Maybe he's expecting something to die at some point.
That's what I'm thinking.
But 1 tactic is still enough to get that 1-card advantage.
Yep.
So
absolutely, you want at least 1 if you get the Pyre token.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we've seen a couple of blunders from Pyre that have left him in this position.
Mm-hmm. The Druid, the Wizard to a lesser extent, but the Druid's the Druid big one. The Wizard not attacking, the Wizard not surviving when we think it should have.
Yeah. I mean, he also could have, I think, moved the Wizard onto the card. Oh no, Jim was on the card draw. Was Jim on the card draw space?
Jim was on the card draw space as general.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yes, I'm looking at the current Pyre configuration.
Right. He wasn't getting into the card draw space, but he even could have just ditched the teleport compared to what he did, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't see how the teleport really helped him. He could have also teleported to a spot. He could have teleported because he probably could have teleported to his place where he could have shot the general from range.
I was considering that, and I'm not sure there was a way. I was looking at the map and trying to see if there was one. I didn't see one. There might have been one.
The wizard was here. The wizard was at E6, right?
Wizard was where the Pyre presently is.
Okay, yeah. All he had to do was teleport back 1 to D6. I don't think there was anything obstructing. He could have done a shot it, and with the goop token, it would have been empowered, and he could have gotten the splash off.
Was there not an obstruction?
I don't think there was.
Oh, he can't go to D6. The High Priest is in the way.
Oh. I thought he just moved the High Priest there. No, we didn't. Okay, never mind.
No, High Priest was already there.
I'll have to go back and look at the video and see.
I think he could have gone to B2, is the answer. Which would have dropped him right next to the Zealot.
Right. But that's fine, because the Zealot doesn't really do anything by itself.
And the Ranger's in a position to hit it now, but it would not have been at the time.
Right.
I think the Ranger would even have been adjacent at the time, in fact.
Yeah.
So...
All right, well, let's see what happens. He's got 2 tactics for Jim's. One, Jim has the card advantage. The double card advantage.
With initiative.
With initiative, which is just so brutal.
Yeah. I think my opponent was commenting in their match that they don't always like having initiative because it doesn't give them last move. But if you have card advantage with initiative, it's another story entirely.
Yeah. There are some times I don't want initiative, but most of the time I do. I really just prefer setting the tempo for the round. Shooting Oozy Goops with his Ranger, it looks like.
For 1, that'll be, I think.
No, that would be an empowered.
No, it wouldn't.
He's using a lead.
It didn't start range.
Oh, I see. He needs to move up. Okay.
Yep. This is the initial board state. So you can shoot Oozy Goops for 1.
Okay, he's true. He's moving back. I see. Yeah. Right. He's using that, and then he's using the regular attack to shoot him for 1.
Right. Or at least that should be what happens, anyway.
Yeah, this is when the general really shines with the flexibility of his activations.
Yeah. Rangers next to Zealot, they're both within range. They're both within range of the general zone.
Yeah, but the Ranger can't empower the range. The Zealot can't empower the Ranger's shot.
Not by itself, no.
Because it's not empowered, so...
And actually, the thing about it, he just used the second lead. So he doesn't have the lead left.
Right.
And he used to me on top of that.
Yep.
So the Zealot near general... The Zealot matters less than I think about it. I didn't take that comment back.
Well, I mean, he's still got maneuvers, so...
Mm-hmm. The soldier's not especially nearby. But with
here we go. We got a tactic coming from Pyre.
Is that burst? If that's burst,
Rampant growth. Right, so we're going to drop 3 nature tokens on the board. I hope he remembers that the nature token is not going to block the shot.
Yeah. Even a wall doesn't. Never mind.
Yeah,
token.
Nothing blocks the Ranger shot, but the nature token doesn't block anybody's shot.
Which basically means it doesn't block the wizard either, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Or parasite doesn't block parasite. That'd be another one.
Tokens don't block line of sight.
Yeah, I was trying to think of units that actually had range attacks.
Not that many.
Wizard, Ranger, I just remember the life leech is Parasite.
It would also be the Knight's Impale.
Right. Impale ignores line of sight anyway, though.
True, it's just a range attack.
Yes, fair.
Yeah, because if Impale didn't block line of sight, it would be a absolutely useless card.
Yes, it would do 2 damage.
Yes.
End of story.
It would do no damage because you couldn't actually use it.
No, you can impale if there's nothing there.
Right, but then you would do no damage, because if there's anything there, you couldn't do the attack in the first place. Because you have to target the unit at range.
Right. So he hits the unit at range, he doesn't hit anything in
Right,
between.
but then there's nothing to hit then. If it can hit that square, that means if it didn't block line of sight, if it needed line of sight, if it can hit that square, that means there's nothing in between.
Sure.
So without that, this is when I really want to find a way I can actually put cards up on the screen during this.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a way. I'm just still new to Twitch, so I got to find a way to do that.
You're using OBS, right?
No, I'm using Twitch Studio.
Oh.
I need to learn how to use OBS.
Yeah. OBS, I would have a suggestion, but I've never used Twitch Studio, so I don't know.
It's not very powerful. OBS is much better, but it's got a bit more of a learning curve, so I got to sit down and teach myself it. I do have it. I just haven't figured it all out yet.
Rampant growth into nature's grasp.
So he's pulled another unit. Okay.
If he can get the druid up there, he can smack the general for 3.
Yeah.
And it's even better. Actually, I take it back. It's even better than that, because right now he doesn't even need it to be empowered. It can just be a hyper activation.
Yep. Okay.
Because the general already has a goop token.
Yep. Oh, what do we got here? We have got Inspiration, one of Jim's favorite cards.
What did he jump over?
Oh my gosh.
The ranger, I guess. I guess he jumped over the ranger and shot it.
Yes, he did, because it was right. It was at C2, and he jumped to F5.
Yep. For some reason, I briefly thought it was at C3, but that doesn't make sense because it couldn't get there in that case.
Right, but the goop token stays.
Yep.
Did Doozy Goops have that much damage on him?
I have no idea. I didn't think it'd been hit that hard, but...
Right, because it wouldn't have been an empowered from Inspiration. It would have just been a regular one damage attack.
And lead was only 1 damage as well. I don't remember getting hurt last round. I don't know where the damage came from.
I don't know either. My gosh, I have to really go back and watch this. Jim's turns are going very quickly. He clearly knows exactly what he's doing every time.
That's assuming that...
He's doing it correctly.
Question is whether he's doing yes.
Jim does not usually make rules errors.
Well, again, we already think there was an error with the wizard. Earlier.
Yeah. That's a fairly new rule with the blessing token. But giving a temporary health.
Okay.
And again, we may have missed something. I'm going to have to go back and watch this to be sure.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Soldier tanked some damage for the Zealot, it looks like.
Or I think what actually happened there was that was a wizard spread.
Oh, yes, because it's unpreventable. I was wondering why the defense token was still there, but the wizard... Yep. That makes perfect sense. Oh, if he had Lightning Bolt right now, it would be a perfect time for a Lightning Bolt.
It would be, yes.
But he has no tactics, so he probably doesn't have it.
And the general escaped the trap on top of everything else. I feel like there's some rule error. I do feel like there's some rules mistakes going on, but this is just even without them, this is brutal.
Yeah. Okay, was that a coil?
Looks like it.
Yep, it was a coil. Yep.
Yeah. I guess you just wanted to be there rather than be next to the soldier. I'm not sure if
he may have wanted the energy.
That much gear.
It's possibly one of the energy, so we could bring back Oozy Goops.
That could be, yeah.
Because right now Jim has 1, 2, 3 presents, and Clara has 3 presents. So it also ties up the Pyre. Oh,
Okay.
advance. I mean, not advance. Assault.
Jump attack for 2. Attack friendly unit may do an empowered activation.
Oof.
Ooh, the life leech. Did
He killed the life leech?
it have that much?
How? How did
How
he
is the
kill?
life leech dead?
I don't know.
I am so confused.
I'm asking.
I can't see how it took more than 3.
I can't either.
Maybe I can see 3. Maybe it got smacked by the zealot for when we weren't looking,
Okay.
and then 2 from there.
Did the life leech have any damage on it?
Oh,
Oh,
Ranger.
the ranger.
Oh, I was counting. I thought the Ranger. I wasn't. Okay. Oh, okay. That makes so much sense.
Oh,
Okay.
nice play.
Yeah.
That was a really good play.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Shadow has not done literally anything.
Nope. It hasn't needed to. I don't understand the inclusion of the shadow in Jim's team, but
Yeah. That's why I was mentioning it.
Yep.
Because we were trying to see what it was going to do.
And so yeah, as you said, so far the answer is nothing. Oh my god! And then advance.
I mean, he has to move, but
Where's he going to move?
doesn't really matter.
Oh, of course. Smack the high priest, because why not?
And put a shield on the Ranger as well.
No, it only puts it on the soldier, so he's just doing it.
Sorry, no, I was thinking the tactics. My mistake. Right.
Yeah, he's just doing it for the card draw space.
Right. In order to make it hard to reach the Ranger. Because right now, a Ranger can't really move very many places, but the only way to place your attacker from is where the Pyre is moving.
Hey, the shadow moved.
Woo! Didn't even get to do its damage.
Wow.
Which makes you wonder why he didn't just put it on the flag.
I was wondering that myself.
Did he win Pyre anyway? Oh, he won Pyre anyway.
Oh, okay. So he wanted it next to the zealot.
Because the life leech died. That's why.
Yep. Well, I wasn't entirely sure this was even going to get to round 3, but there you go.
The High Priest has not taken damage yet.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't. I thought he took a damage from the soldier with the advance.
I guess it probably should have, but maybe he either chose not to attack it or he hit something else.
But there's nothing else to hit?
Yeah. Forgot. Chose not to attack. Don't know.
I could have sworn him. So I thought I saw him pointing at the High Priest.
I don't know. I also don't think it's going to matter.
Oh, I don't think so either. I just want to make sure it didn't get missed, because I'm pretty sure Jim pointed it out. There we go. Yep.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, only because Jim pointed to the High Priest. So I wanted to make sure.
Let's see here.
Alright, let's see. Does this...
It's not an easy Pyre for Jim to win, but he does have the unit advantage.
Yeah, it's a slight advantage for He-Bear, thanks to the nature tokens. Nature token blocking that flag.
Yeah.
But Jim does have initiative, so he could... the soldier's got some decent damage on him. It's 3 only. He's only got 3 damage left before it dies.
Mhm.
Oof. Still.
And even at best, Heber only has 4 units this round in general.
Yeah.
Since 2 things died last round.
And with that card draw advantage again. And Jim could conceivably buy all 3 of his tactics cards.
He chose to buy 2, however.
He tends to not like to do that. See, in this situation, I might have done it. It's expensive, but
Depending on the
depending on what they are.
Yeah.
But I like to have the options, and
For some reason, Heber just set his money to 9. Don't know why.
I think he wrapped around. Oh, actually, I don't think the caps do wrap around.
They don't. No. I've used them for values in the hundreds before. Whatever.
Oops, too far.
Oh, TGS is buffering inputs.
Yep.
I think. That's kind of hilarious, actually.
This is rough. Okay, so Jim has his archer. He has the initiative. He has his archer in range immediately of the high priest. No zealot there, but still. He is also, however, going to run through his deck thanks to the card draw he's had. So he might draw into a lead or 2.
Right.
Another Pyre token, which is going to give him a free tactic.
Yep. What in the world?
How has he not run through his deck? Or did he already do?
He drew orders from somewhere else, and I don't know what's going on.
Yes, this is round 3. He drew an extra.
Be through.
He should have to
be through his order deck.
Yeah, he should have had to
cycle it again.
He should have had to flip it and shuffle for 1 more card.
Yeah,
And I think.
So I'll tell you what happened. He drew from his discard for some reason.
He's got 2 left in his draw deck.
And there are 7 left in his discard.
Yeah.
He drew from his discard.
So the count is
right. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. This makes me wonder what happens in the games when I'm not watching.
You said that last time.
Yeah.
I don't think I usually make mistakes, but
this has been more. Usually it's like a little thing here and there. There have been more mistakes than usual.
Yeah. I'm going to be fascinated to hear what they had to say after the game.
I mean, Heber is also, I think, probably the newest player, the least experienced player in the tournament.
Okay. I
I
can neither prove nor disprove that statement because I'm
90. Yeah, because he played once with me at PAX and hasn't really done any outside games, unlike you and Thera and Prime.
Right.
I think Jim has realized he's made a mistake.
There we go. I was wondering how long that was going to take.
Okay. Oops.
Shuffles.
Well,
shuffling the deck where there's only 3 cards in it.
Well, fortunately, anyone who's remotely good at paying attention would know what the last 3 cards in his deck were. You would know the evasive. You should at least. Heber should at least have known the evasive shot was in there.
Right. We haven't seen Ranger. Haven't seen Shadows card.
Right. Oh, so there we go.
I think it's the last one's maneuver of some sort.
There we go.
That's 1
very
damage.
Aggressive first move.
Puts him next to Zealot.
Puts him next to Zealot, in range of the High Priest. And it's stealth.
Yep.
I do like evasive shot. Every time people ask me why it doesn't 2 damage, I would do 2 damage. It's like A, because of the rules, and B, because the card would be way too good then.
Yeah.
Oh, how is he not retreating his priest? Tell me he's retreating his priest.
In a sense, if it did 2 damage, it would be mobile Gooplash without stun.
Yeah, it would just be...
Not even without, because it gains stealth. So it's actually that balances out anyway. It'd just be mobile Gooplash.
Way too good for an order card. Not quite a tactic card, but definitely the strongest order card it would be.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's not retreating his High Priest. There we go. Brutal. 4 damage.
3. Yep, 4 damage with the Zealot. Yep.
2 damage with the Empowered, boosted by the Zealot, which brings it up to 3, and then just a regular attack for 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I have to say, Jim is making good use of the Zealot this game.
Yeah. I will say I did appreciate the one game I played and lost before the tournament just because I got crushed by Zealot Ranger, and I was like, okay, that's a thing to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it is probably Jim's favorite combination. Yep, There we go. He's now explaining the sequence of events to Hebert.
Yep.
And again, this is where you see Hebert still pretty new to the game, where we can see instantly the damage that's being done.
Yeah. The sort of this is literally that thing. He's literally seeing what happened to me outside of the tournament.
Yep.
Is essentially what's happening here. High Priest was set to 4. That's not right.
Yep.
High Priest should be at least 5.
Should be at 6, I think.
I think it should be at 6 as well, but. Oh, and then he moved Soldier. He moved Soldier with the other 3 thing. Instead of shooting twice, he moved Soldier.
Yep.
Okay.
Which just tells me he's got. If he chose not to do the double tap with the Ranger, he's got something much worse up his sleeve.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Especially because he just lets the Wizard die.
I think
Soldier.
He has got. What's the card that lets the Zealot have? Is this it?
Holy Zeal.
That's the one. That's exactly what I thought he had.
The one I use to kill 2 of my units in one of my games. Does he kill both Soldier and Zealot? Is that what he's doing?
It's going to do 1 damage to the Soldier.
Well, if he's actually on the Soldier, which I don't know if he does or not.
I don't know who else he would do.
In general. Doesn't Holy Zeal just trigger a unit?
Oh, or Frenzy. How's he going to do Frenzy?
Move attack for 2 damage.
Oh, he's doing the Life Leech?
I guess.
Who's he attacking?
Just killing life. Smacking Life Leech or Wizard, I guess, yeah.
Because it's going to kill the Zealot.
Either of them. What is Jim doing?
Why was he not doing Holy Zeal? Well, that would kill the Soldier.
I'm guessing he doesn't want the Soldier to die, but again, I'd be perfectly happy letting the Soldier die here.
Yeah.
Because it's not like...
So, did the Zealot take
not
damage?
I don't think there's any way... I don't think the General can take 8 damage this round.
Yeah.
And,
did the Zealot take that damage?
Holy Zeal. still on the board. So, not yet. Yeah, you better ping him.
Yep.
Up there it goes.
Okay.
Or something. Or he's doing it because something's
Frenzy.
killing it. There it goes. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't think the general takes 8 damage this round, and that means you've
And
got 2
Zealot
full health units
does
next turn.
still take
Take
the
this
does
Zeal.
increase. Oh no!
Yeah.
If Zell is damaged due to damaging itself, do not. Okay, nope. So that it's fine. He doesn't. He doesn't have to increase recruit cost.
Were you trying to figure out what the? Did you think the innate was just for its own innate ability?
I had to double check. Yes, but it's just if any time it damages itself, it doesn't increase recruitment cost.
You may want to word frenzy a little differently. Okay, wait. Oh, never mind. It's consistent between the cards.
Yeah, and
I was going to say taking damage does not necessarily imply damaging yourself.
Yeah, but since it's the card activates Zealot, the Zealot is the source of the damage.
Right. Of course, I forgot about that. Right. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I think rewording is not a bad idea just to avoid any potential confusion. Well, it's just so far the only time Jim has lost at Unity killed himself. Oof. Are we looking at a Pyre victory here for Jim?
I guess he might just be lining up for that. Yeah. Because at this point, it's really hard to stop it.
Yeah, I don't. It's
you need to. He bears 3 cards left. He needs to kill soldier, move druid over to the yellow, and move high priest onto orange.
Yeah.
In 3 cards.
Yeah, and he's already used Nature's Grasp, so he can't relocate the general using that.
It doesn't even have a tactic. Oh. He doesn't even have a tactic. Huh?
No, he doesn't. I was just saying if he hadn't played that, he could have used it, but it's gone.
Got it. Yes. Okay. Remind me how the druid's order works.
He places a nature token in its zone, moves adjacent to that nature token, and then places another in his zone. So he could get to the heart space, the health space.
Okay.
No, could he? Oh, actually, I don't think he could. I take it back. No.
But he has 3 cards. He could do it in the following card.
He could, yes. He couldn't do it immediately, but he could do it. But even so, that's only going to give him...
You can't bless anything. You can't bless from that position. Wait, never mind. Wait. That's Divine Favor. Never mind. Divine Favor.
Right, yeah, he's doing Divine Favor. Yeah. But even if he gets both of his units on there, Jim has 3 presence. There is not 3 presence left on the board.
Yep.
And I don't see how he's going to get them off with unless he's got. Oh no, he doesn't have a tactic, so he doesn't have Astral Gate.
Which is why you need to get the soldier off the orange.
Yep, and I don't see how he's going to. Well, the soldier's only got 2 damage left before it dies.
The reason I was trying to remember what his card does was I was trying to see if there's a way.
And here we go. There is Soul Drain.
But
absolutely brutal. Which is going to do a damage. Which is going to reduce the wizard's health by 1.
So he had Divine Favor. I think he's still got.
I think Pyre has called it.
He just got another card in his hand, doesn't he?
He just called it. Pyre has emptied his hand.
Well, there's something in his hand.
What?
There's a question mark in his hand.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Okay, fair. Did we see the Druid's Order? And I just forgot.
We may have.
Because I thought he had Divine Favor, Druid Order, Maneuver in his hand. So if that's what he could have done was teleport, used the Druid ability. Okay.
Yeah, they are.
So.
Okay, let's hop over to their chat.
I'm going to ask if you had the Druid when you use the Druid Order.
Hello.
I can't catch a break, Jeff. I can't catch a break.
Yeah,
I mean, I got to break my last game, but like that I was lucky.
This was. I think we were describing it as it was fairly brutal to watch.
Heber, did you use your Druid's Order card? I don't remember seeing it.
Yeah, I used two of them.
Not tactics.
Order, not tactic. Order, the pink one.
Nature's Path.
I think I had to discard it because my Druid was dead.
Oh, that's why we didn't see it. Okay, another rules question we had was when your wizard was killed the first time, he had a blessing on him. Did you count that towards his health?
No.
I don't remember.
I don't. Well, my wizard wasn't killed. Oh wait,
he was. He was, and he had a blessing on him.
I guess I didn't. Oh well.
The wizard effectively has 4 health while it's got a blessing on it.
Oh,
I see.
Wait, no. Did my wizard have a blessing at the time he was killed?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
It had a move blessing because Giga and I were talking about it.
He shouldn't have died. He shouldn't have died. Damn it! Fuck.
We weren't sure.
I always forget that rule.
It's a pretty important rule for the high priest. It's what keeps his blessings activatable.
Yeah, I this is my first time using the high priest, so
that's fair.
It is the more advanced unit.
Myself. Oh my god, I can't play this game.
So, what Giga and I were talking about, don't feel so bad. I mean, Heber, you are the least experienced player in the tournament. And that, and Jim is the most experienced player of the game.
That's true.
That's true.
The only one who can, the only, and then there's Sarah, who just no one can seem to beat no matter what they do. So
Sarah is a bit different. I can't really, wrap my.
Sarah does like competitive Pokemon online, and he was showing me he was showing me his like how he does like team builds and everything. So he's really good at building teams.
You sure that's Sarah, not me?
That was you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sarah beat me.
That was Giga. I remember that.
That was Giga. I'm sorry. My bad.
So
that's embarrassing.
Some questions we had. Jim, what was your reasoning behind including a shadow? We couldn't quite figure out what your plan was.
You told me. Oh my god! I'm so glad you asked.
So exactly what I said to him at the beginning of the game was, okay, so I picked these 3 first, right?
Yeah.
And at the end when they ask me why I picked the shadow, I'm going to say I had no fucking idea. And this is what I'm going to say.
Okay then.
Because we could not piece together the synergy that you were looking for.
Yeah, I couldn't either. Okay, so there's the slightly more serious answer. So, solid unit. I was looking at the other ones. I was like, what should I pick? Right? There are a lot of choices here. He had already drafted like the life leech, which I was considering. I thought about Standard Bear, but I already played that and I felt like doing something different.
Yeah, we didn't think it was that great with your team anyway. It was fine.
I was like, I could have tried Shapeshifter again, but he was a little bit disappointing the last game. So I was like, you know what? Shadow. Never played it. Why the fuck not?
That's a pretty good reason. I think Shapeshifter is going to come into its own in the second half of the tournament. With the rules, with the card change that lets this no exhausted forms. Okay, but that makes sense because we really were just completely nonplussed by your choice of Shadow. And I like the shadow.
Actually-
You know I like the shadow, but
You had no idea why I picked them. Yeah, okay. So there is a slight. There is some anti-synergy here, I think, between the shadow and the soldier. But I saw that he had a few units that I thought the unpreventable damage would be good against, because this guy, so this druid, is a 5-letter word that starts with B. And
fair.
sometimes if he gets going and he has a bunch of nature tokens around him, he can be very hard to kill. So I was like, you know what? I can't play wizard. He was already picked. Might as well get a source of, unpreventable damage, or
Okay.
he has his stun, which is pretty good. It was basically that or like knight, but I didn't feel like playing the knight again, so I was like, why not try the shadow?
Okay. I can actually
Okay.
see that.
And also, he kind of like, I don't know. I think I like the unit more now conceptually than I did before. I don't think I got to use him that well, just because he was like kind of outside the action for most of it. But I could have envisioned him being useful in a lot of scenarios with the attack, like moving 2 spaces, like being able to push someone out of position, especially on a team with the against a team with the wizard. I feel like, moving the wizard out of place is a really, really big deal.
Yes, it is.
So I'd kind of anticipated that, and I thought, well, my team doesn't really have great counterplay against the wizard because, if I'm attacking with the ranger, he's attacking me right back and probably dealing more damage to me, right? If I'm doing the ranger plus zealot plus other nonsense in the same area, he could easily be doing like 4 to 5 damage per attack, right?
True, because your units benefit from being clustered.
Yeah, so I anticipated that would be like the biggest threat, and so I kind of tried to like focus the wizard.
My probably biggest mistake was trying to use my 2 Druid Market cards and bringing your general here, because I didn't have anything anything to follow up on that.
So,
I see, yeah.
So it was a waste.
So we think, well, actually, Giga is the one who pointed this out. Giga, do you want to point out what you saw as his early blunder?
The nature token. When you're replacing a nature token, round 1, you place it at B3, right?
Either
If you
B3 or
place it-
B4. I can't remember which one.
I'm pretty sure it's B3. If you'd place it at, or whichever one it was,
Yeah.
if you'd place it in the A column instead, the ranger could not have moved up and shot the druid.
The A column.
Right. Right, because the ranger was at A2, your druid was at A5. If you had dropped the nature token at A3,
3.
it would have blocked the ranger from moving forward and shooting your druid.
Yeah. What could I even? Yeah, I could have placed it.
You could have.
Ah.
But that's, again, this is how you learn. This is not, it's not a simple game always.
And there's another thing. So you had that divine favor. These 2 maneuver cards over here by the soldier in the shadow. Those are your last 2 cards.
Say again.
Your
The
last 2
2 cards
cards before you called it.
The ones.
The divine favor and the 2 cards on the table by Jim.
Yeah, these are the last card. I couldn't do that because I couldn't do anything because he had a. All right, you can say what you're gonna say.
If I'm reading correctly, I think there is a way using that divine favor for you to push the game to another round.
Really?
So the high.
Oh,
so
maybe.
The high priest was at D6 before divine favor, right? When you divine favor, okay, wherever it was. When you divine favor to the yellow.
No, yeah, he was here.
My white.
When you divine favor to the yellow, instead of putting the blessing on the wizard, put it on the druid. Move the druid up to D6. Play well as well.
Well, I couldn't do that because the general was already there.
D6 in front of the soldier.
E6. Yeah.
All right. Drop a nature token, doesn't matter. Next round, use your jump maneuver to kill the soldier with the nature tokens boosting the power.
Jump maneuver.
And then use the maneuver to move on to the orange space.
Right.
Wait.
Use this card that's in between Jim's shadow and soldier that's facing him. I would point to it, but you can't see me.
I could have attacked and then just taken
Range.
Which would have
nature
killed the soldier.
token.
And it would have also cleared off the nature token from the flag.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could have done that.
And then you could use it. You could have maneuvered to the orange space if you'd wanted to. Or you had to actually, but
I had to. Yeah. All right. Well, shit.
I mean, I will say you took a fairly complex team.
Yeah.
The High Priest is good, but it's definitely, of the leaders in the tournament,
It's hard to use.
it is the hardest one to use. It is the most combo based. Druid, I think, is also a fairly advanced unit.
I just remember because Thera. Well, I think it was Thera that destroyed me with the Druid.
Oh, do not use Thera as guidance right now. Thera's skill level is above all of ours right now.
yes.
Is he 4-0?
He's 8-0 altogether in and out of the tournament.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah. No one can beat Thera right now. I'm not saying he's unbeatable, but he has the best record by far, so I would not try and emulate Thera at this point in time. I personally would not try and emulate Thera at this time. I don't think I can do it.
Yeah.
I would recommend, honestly, Ebear sticking with some of the more straightforward units, General or Spy Master right now.
I agree.
Don't run before you can walk.
Yeah, definitely.
Units I would recommend for you: Knight, nice and solid.
I see the times I've tried the Knight, I feel like I didn't get as much use out of him. I personally find that he's kind of. I mean, I think the empowered attack is really powerful, but I don't know. I've personally found that compared to some of the other units, I feel like he's underpowered. That's at least for my personal experience.
He's kind of chunky though. He's got his 5 health.
Yeah, I mean,
true.
Soldier is always good.
Well, I wanted to get Soldier.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can't always get every unit you want. That's the whole point of the draft.
Right.
Ranger, if you can get him. Wizard, I think, was a pretty decent choice.
Life Leech is probably a decent choice too.
And the Life Leech is a decent choice too. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Wizard is the best unit in the game against my strategy.
What's that?
The unit is the best wizard in the Wizard is the best unit in the game against my strategy.
Absolutely.
Because I always cluster my dudes and do like zealot nonsense. So
Yep.
Yeah, I just want to see one day a fireball land right in the middle of one of Jim's clusters.
yeah.
So it will officially be a clusterfuck.
I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't draw fireball. I didn't even draw fireball.
All right, so Jim, you've entered the data.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd also say Standard Bearer is probably easier than Uzi Goops.
Oh, absolutely. Uzi Goops is pretty high skill also, and again,
Yeah.
there's a big. He's got a big question mark on him. He's got some very strong advocates and some very strong detractors. They don't.
I honestly just wanted to try him.
Mhm.
That's fair.
I still think he's the worst unit in the game, but
He might be. He might very well be. He's the one I have my eye on the most right now. I'm already updating Assassin, Shapeshifter, and Force Mage for the second half of the tournament. I don't. Uzi Goops just doesn't get enough play right now. I don't know whether he's good or not.
yeah.
Anyone ever played the Standard Bearer yet?
Oh God, yes.
Standard Bearer's played a lot.
Yeah, it's very good.
I even had a bad in a team that was bad in.
Yeah, he's a favorite.
Yeah. Okay, that's very good.
I feel like Uzi Goops should be good with the High Priest, though. It just takes a bit of work, like, theoretically. Right? Because, well, the whole point... Okay, so here's the thing. The whole point of the Standard Bearer and Uzi Goops is granting empowered actions, right?
Yes.
Right.
The problem is that the Standard Bearer just does it better, I think. Like, a lot better. Like, he kind of just dropped the standard down, and it's like, oh... My Ranger's OP now. Like,
well, the zones are pretty big too. So
yeah, a zone is basically half the board, right? So it's 5x5 out of 7x7. So
Yeah,
it's like
I
half
mean,
squares on
Uzi
the
Goops
board.
has the benefit of being a beefier unit, a strong, and it does things itself.
Right. The problem is, in order to grant the empowered attack, it's like he has to actually like attack and do something, and then you have to follow it up.
Yeah,
It's kind of
Agreed.
like how Hunted. It's a solid card, but a lot of the time it doesn't do anything fast enough because you have to actually follow it up with something.
yeah. I think Hunted's a really good early game card.
Yeah.
If you can get that on the leader in round 1, you've got a big advantage. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Uzi Goop's problem might not be so much about power, but about tempo.
Yeah, it's just like also a lot of the time. Keep in mind that if Uzi attacks a unit, right, you need someone else to then attack the unit before Uzi can attack it again, right?
Yeah.
In order to get value, or you need Uzi to go attack someone else. But Uzi moving takes time,
Yep.
so it's like he doesn't just. If he could charge, that would be kind of interesting. Because then he'd actually be able to goop more units more easily.
It's not one charge. He has like Gooplash, which is the charge.
Yeah.
I guess he actually has more charge than most units. It's just it's still a slow charge.
So let me ask
Yeah.
you something. What would you think? Would it be insane if Uzi has 5 Goop tokens,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
What if he also had the ability with an empowered attack, to discard one of his Goop tokens to make it a ranged attack?
Wait, discard his own?
Yeah.
Like remove it from the game?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that would work. I might have to give him more Goop tokens to make it work.
Well, also, what I'm realizing about Gooplash is if you have to have 3 whole Goop tokens to do only 1 more damage.
Yeah.
Well, and a stun.
3 for what?
Does it stun?
Gooplash stuns.
It doesn't. Oh yeah, it does.
And
Stun.
you don't need the Goop tokens to do that.
I should probably pull up the cards. Okay, let me see.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I'm falling into the camp that Uzi Goops is not competitive at this stage.
Complete garbage. Okay, let's see. Add a Goop token to the target if it doesn't already have one. Yeah, it's also it's an empowered attack. So it's an empowered attack that doesn't do anything immediately. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I think I've played Uzi Goops twice. One time, it did its only meaning was in having a lot of health, and the other time its only meaning was in literally the last round to Gooplash something.
Yeah. No, I think after watching him play a few times, I am coming around now that I think about it, and never discussing this. I think he's not competitive. I think I need to do something to him to boost him up before the second half of the tournament.
So I think Gooplash is a good card. I just don't think his innate does anything.
Yeah, I agree. I think the innate is the problem. It is
Like
too.
a charge.
It's actually
a charge
kind of
for 2 damage is actually fine.
And stun.
And stun.
No, I think his innate is actually facing the same problem, but in a very different way as the shapeshifter's innate. It's too slow.
Yeah.
You can't
Tempo is
trigger
very,
it.
very
You
important.
can't trigger it enough.
Mhm.
I just need
I
to find a
agree with
different way to do it.
Especially because it just occurs to me, we were all excited about the general having a Goop token on it.
And
That
never
Goop
triggered.
token,
Nothing happened.
we saw one way that we think it could have been activated, but even that would have been kind of it would have been just for a movement.
Yeah.
Well, also,
Right.
how is he going to use the Goop token? Like,
I mean, the life leech could have used it. The druid could have benefited from it.
sure, but he would have to be granted an additional move or attack from something that isn't already empowered, like not a maneuver. So you'd basically just have to use the
High Priest.
blessing token,
High Priest.
which is fine, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, evasive shot would have been another way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, evasive shot was Jim's.
Yeah, Jim had Razor.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah, so
agree.
Jim, if you shot your general with evasive
was
shot,
reading.
you would
Oh gosh. hilarious part is, in a certain sense, it's almost reasonable because if you move adjacent to it and shoot it, just to get rid of the goop token.
Yeah, I think the issue is, as I think Jim has nailed it,
Mhm.
it's just too slow getting goop tokens. I mean, honestly, the idea
Or
with using
teleport.
goops is you want to get goop tokens out quickly,
Mhm.
and it just doesn't happen right now. I still
Yeah.
like the concept. It just needs to be adjusted to be competitive.
Let's see. Living goop, you may attack with or move with any opposing units that have a goop token and then remove the goop token.
Yeah, I had that, but I didn't feel like there was a good opportunity to like.
Right. Which goes back to the problem.
Yeah, you have to get the goop tokens on first in order to do anything.
Right. The other option would be not just attack. What if like he does an empowered move and it's adjacent to an opposing unit? He could put a goop token on him.
Wait, what?
So he could drop goop tokens with empowered attacks or with empowered moves.
Oh, you're saying as an update?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely be reasonable.
That's a change worth testing.
Yeah.
It might almost go the other way. I don't know, but it's certainly worth.
I don't even think that would be too good because like it's not like +1 damage. Remember, empowered is not +1 damage. Empowered is conditionally an additional thing that you get depending on the unit that attacks it. So a lot of the time, it might not be worth anything, right? Like if the soldier attacks it, it doesn't do anything. Like you need other units on the team, such as the ranger or I guess the knight for the stun.
True, but
that's
true also for the standard bearer. So if we're saying the standard bearer is good,
not quite, because the standard bearer also can affect moves.
Fair.
So yeah,
these are only attacks.
It's much more flexible. Uzi Goops the goop tokens are only useful if one of your units that has an empowered attack benefit attacks that specific unit.
Right.
Whereas the standard bearer is like, I have my my soldier and it does its thingy, it moves into the area not empowered. Oh, it's empowered now. It gets a defense token. That's nice. There are a lot of additional benefits that you can get.
So what if? Would it be crazy? What if instead of granting empowered attacks, they blocked empowered actions?
Oh, so they kept an opposing unit from using empowered attack.
So it's like a disable type move.
Right, and instead of resolving the empowered action, you remove the goop token.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. Then it makes it like a counterplay unit.
It still comes to the question of it still needs a way to get the tokens out more reliably.
Oh, I agree with that. Yes, and I'm thinking that in addition to moving and attacking, lets you drop goop tokens, and they're a one-time negation of an empowered action of any kind, which also seems kind of thematic.
Yeah, it slows them down.
I agree with the theme. I don't know if it's necessary. If your concern is that standard bearer is strictly a better unit, I think what Uzi Goops loses in flexibility, assuming he can get his tokens out reliably, it makes up for by being a better unit itself.
Yes,
it's an argument to consider. So if you're assessing that because you don't want it to be grounding empowered stuff when standard bearer just does that better.
Well,
sure.
I think it's more along the lines of the fact that I can't find a way for group tokens to, since I think allowing them to give empowered moves to units adjacent to them and then empowered attacks attacking them, it just becomes cumbersome. Mm-hmm. I want a nice, clean effect on it.
I also think you have better ways of granting empowered moves. Yeah. So it's like if your team comp is like if your idea is I want to grant empowered moves, you just play standard bearer.
Right.
And then maybe you make Uzi Goops into its own thing where you pick him if you want some kind of counterplay that isn't just push or stun, right?
Right. So then then
it becomes a more interesting option compared to maybe Force Mage or the Knight.
Right. And then I don't need to change any of his tactics because I think his tactics are pretty good.
Right.
Let's see. Okay, so you may attack with or remove any opposing units that have a goop token, then remove the goop token.
Solid.
Do you even need to remove the goop token?
Well, maybe not now. Maybe not with this update.
So, if you get okay, let's see. So if you can put 3 goop tokens out, that's a considerable investment for the card. Because remember, the card does nothing by default.
Right.
3 goop tokens. If you can get 3 goop tokens out, how good is that?
Right.
So you get to move or attack. So it's basically if they're in a position where you can get good attacks off of them, it's maybe 3 damage.
Right.
Or 3 moves. The only thing is I could see this being decent as a last turn thing. You just move all your opponent's shit off of a control point.
Right.
And
So it's sort of like Astral Gate.
Yeah. Although remember, you have to goop the units that are being moved, right? Also, keep in mind that now, since we're changing it, actually, yeah, that's true. If we're changing it to whenever if they do an empowered attack, the goop token comes off.
Mm-hmm.
They can now remove them pretty easily, and so I don't think this design really works.
Right.
It becomes extremely difficult to have even more than 1 out, I think. It's just you goop, and then they can move and get rid of it, so...
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't like it. It doesn't work.
I think I would replace that design with something else.
Agreed.
Maybe a better way to give out goop tokens? I don't know. Maybe it's you share the goop where all of your units can in the zone can attack and grant a goop token or something dumb like that. I don't know.
You can make you can make some sort of goop trap on the board.
That's gonna really infringe on the dark, which is coming along. I haven't quite figured the dark out yet, but I don't want to.
For the goop trap, that would just be a single the one-off tactic that's different from the others. Is what I'm not saying that's the thing.
But having a tactic as a dependent to get things out is, again, maybe it doesn't need to be empowered. I don't know. The druid doesn't need to be empowered to get out his nature tokens.
Knight doesn't need to be empowered to get his free attack.
And then maybe Uzi can get out his goop tokens without an empowered anything. But then if he does an empowered something against something with a goop token, it does something cool.
Oh, that could work. Maybe okay, you could say, how about on move? Any move, goop an adjacent unit, but then on empowered attack, if they have a goop token, you deal plus damage.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe plus 1 damage feels kind of weak for the amount of effort, but I don't know, maybe. I guess maybe it's fine.
I'd probably start by trying +1.
Plus 2 seems excessive. Yeah, plus 2 seems excessive for sure. Maybe, I guess +1 is fine.
So if we do the +1,
mm-hmm.
And what if then they can use an empowered action to get rid of it without triggering the empowered effect? Because then they're sacrificing something.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's if a grouped enemy uses an empowered action, it becomes not empowered and the token's removed. Yeah,
well, they
fine.
could have the up, but if the tokens are doing plus damage from Goozy Goops, they could have the option: use the empowered attack or get rid of the goop token.
Wait, what?
If they have the goop token, they could either use the empowered action as it normally is, or not have the empowered effect and choose to get rid of the goop token.
I see.
I would be wary of making it optional, just because that means it can just run away from if it just runs away from Uzi Goops, it doesn't even care about the fact that it's gooped.
Well, no, I would say if it takes damage.
Oh, anytime it takes damage.
Is it anytime it takes damage or just Uzi?
Well, I don't know. We're talking it through. It was your idea.
If anytime it takes damage, then sure, then it can be optional. If it's not optional, or if it's only Uzi Goops, it needs to be non-optional, I think.
Yeah, so if it's anyone, then Uzi Goops' empowered doesn't really do anything.
Right.
Because then if it's any. So I think making it Uzi Goops but forcing it is fine.
Yeah, because the design really is every unit should have some sort of empowered action. There should be no unit that doesn't have an empowered effect. But I think
Zealot.
Well, Zealot's a weird case because
Zealot's a weird case, but he still depends on empowered attacks, just not his own.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yes, he is a.
They're specifically empowered attacks adjacent to him. For Uzi Goops, if it was just if any unit attacks, empowered attacks
Right, and then empowered needs to mean something. And I'll phrase it this way: empowered needs to mean something to every unit in some way.
Except for a leader.
Except for a leader. Every troop in some way.
Love to listen more.
A unit with a goop token. A friendly unit may star move and star attack for 2 damage. That's fine. Explosive goop. One opposing unit with a goop token takes 2 unpreventable damage. Then add a goop token to up to 2 opposing units adjacent to it. And it doesn't get a move. That sounds hard to do.
I'm going to hop off.
Okay.
GG.
GG.
All right. Good. So long, Hebert. Thanks.
Yeah, good night.
You could give Explosive Goop a move, and I think it would be an okay card.
That makes sense.
Because if it's opposing, and then you have to be adjacent to it, and you have to have 2 additional enemies adjacent to that enemy. It's kind of.
So you mean for Explosive Goop, have the unit that's gooped do a move?
No. So you do a move. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, Uzi Goop's moving won't change anything on that card.
I mean Uzi Goops becomes able to move adjacent to an enemy rather than
Can you bring
now?
Can you bring Explosive Goop up out onto the table so I can look at it?
And so I guess the stream can see, because the stream's still live, isn't it?
Yeah, the stream is still live. People are listening to us blather on.
Yeah.
And more power to them for hanging in this long.
Okay. One opposing unit with a goop token takes 2 unpreventable damage. Then add a goop token to up to 2 opposing units adjacent to it. So basically, what I'm talking about is let me.
We can make it in the zone.
Well, what I'm saying is that currently, if he were to use it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he would have to be adjacent to my unit already.
That is not what that says. That is not what that says.
No.
One opposing unit. Oh, never mind. Opposing unit. Oh, I read adjacent unit. Okay.
An enemy unit with a goop token.
Anywhere on the board, in fact.
I see.
So what I could do, what I think I would choose to do instead is just change adjacent to zone.
Mm-hmm.
That work, yeah.
I would actually change both. Both to zone, I think, is conceptually more interesting. Like, it has to be in your zone, and then you also get a zone effect. I think is probably fine. Because I feel like if he's just in the corner and he explodes the goop remotely, it's just like, I don't know, it's like not as positionally interesting. But
right.
We are making the card more powerful this way.
So, explain again, how would you change the card?
So it would read, one opposing unit in Uzi Goop's zone with a goop token takes 2 unpreventable damage. Then add a goop token to up to 2 opposing units in that unit's zone.
Okay, that's what I thought you meant. Okay, I think that's reasonable.
Anyway,
and then you're getting more goop out.
Yeah, so that helps with the goop business.
Okay, I think I like this direction for Uzi Goops. It gives him a bit more identity. He's not competing with the standard bearer, which I think is part of the problem.
I have to go, but yeah, thanks. That was a fun game. And
okay, all right. Well, thank you, and thank you, Giga, for helping me host.
Happy to do so.
All right, and everyone have a good evening.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.